So yeah, we got done with Stevenson versus Fonfara 2. It wasn't much to write home about. It was just like it came and it went, literally. Of course, Stevenson stopped him in the second round. He caught Fonfara early in the first. Just how Fonfara gotten caught early against Joe Smith Jr. and just like Joe Smith Jr., Stevenson jumped all over him, and when a big-time power puncher smells blood and you're not equipped to defend yourself, then, yeah, it's good night. There's nothing else you can do about it. And, Virgil Hunter stopped the fight. He just said that Fonfara wasn't responding, and he actually wanted him in the second round to come out and just straight out just defend himself and not even throw any punches back or whatnot. So Fonfara couldn't do that, and Stevenson's left hand is like it's been said by and noted by others, is one of the most dangerous punches in boxing, and all the fans really want is for that punch. Let's see you land that punch on Andre Ward or Sergey Kovalev. But the problem is we don't see it. And what you see is Stevenson's not respected at all. Hardly in the fight game by any of the fans. Not that, our opinion means too much to him. I'm pretty sure he's going to cash his check, and he's going to post some cool videos on Twitter and Instagram. So it doesn't really matter to him in the long run. All I see after this pretty much is another 9, 10, 11 month layoff. I mean, that's pretty much been his schedule, 3 fights in 4 years. And it was funny that Jim Gray got on him about that, because Stevenson wanted to wear, a crown and put on a little show after the fight that he's the king of the division, but he's really not the king of anything, because he hasn't fought the top guys in the division. And, the real kings of the division have their own fight in a couple of weeks with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev, then the rematch. So with Stevenson is just, I'm not sure, people would still favor him, or maybe against Kovalev, and maybe give him a shot against Ward, but, I don't see it. I mean, the guy's 39 going on 40, and he hasn't been in a tough fight in years. So how will he respond to that? We don't even know, because the opponents he's been matched up with haven't been in there to really test him. They've been handpicked. And, Stevenson's basically gotten his opponents and, seasoned them up, put them in the fridge, let them marinate for a long, long time, and cooked them when they get in the ring. And they're nice and tender once he gets in the ring. So yeah, who knows what's next for Stevenson? Probably another long layoff and, enjoying vacation and lots of Twitter and Instagram videos, like I said earlier. But it's a shame. I would definitely like to see him tested, because, when you're up to 39, 40 years old, let's see him go into the trenches, into a long fight. But the problem with Stevenson is just that he hasn't really been interested in fighting anybody any good. But you know what, a fight I like to see, if you're not going to fight Kovalev and Ward because of politics and stuff like that, why don't you fight Badu Jack? I like that fight. Badu Jack said he's moving up to 175, and he called Stevenson out. Him and Mayweather called Stevenson out. So let's see that happen. But the first trick in getting this fight made is that Badu Jack needs to move up to 175 and take a dive in the first round, get knocked down in the first round, and then maybe Stevenson will consider it. But with all jokes aside, although that wasn't a very good one, Stevenson's a talented fighter, but how talented really are you if you're not putting it up against the best? It's easy to look great out there when no one's fighting back. So that's about as much as we can get into this fight. And I doubt he'll fight Eleider Alvarez, who's his mandatory. That would be a good fight. Alvarez has a very strong jab. We know Stevenson likes to fight with his hands down at times. So that'd be an interesting fight, but I don't think Stevenson takes that fight. So that's about it for now, guys. So yeah, we just got done with Pascal versus Alvarez, and what happened here? Alvarez threw 508, Pascal threw 369 punches through 12 rounds. I think what you saw here was a lot of Alvarez just pumping the shit out of his jab, and Pascal was just standing there all day in front of the jab. Like, he couldn't get out of the way of it, or he didn't bother to move his head or step to the side. He just ate the jab, and they're about to go over the decision right here. I did mention that we would have some funny scorecards because they want to set up that Stevenson and Pascal fight. So let's listen to it. A draw is a joke. I had this 9-3 for Alvarez.
He scores about 170 to 111. And Jack Woodburn scores about 116 to 100.
Yeah, those are Alvarez scores, so we good.
In favor of the winner, Eleider Storm.
All right, good. Well, the judges got it right. It would have been a joke and a travesty if they got it wrong. But that's boxing, so that's what we expect. But anyway, look. Pascal couldn't get out of the way of the jab. He was holding his hand out. He was in that Roy Jones posture, but he was just eating jabs. And Alvarez was shooting the jab. It's a good jab. It's a good, strong, fast jab, but it's coming at one speed. And you never saw Pascal slip to the side and counter it or duck under it and hold. I mean, he did a lot of holding for sure, but he didn't do anything with that jab. He just ate the jab all night. And then I thought Alvarez did a good job mixing in the left hook occasionally because Pascal was just waiting for that straight right to come after the jab, and Alvarez was slipping the left hook. But yeah, Alvarez is a solid boxer, but he's too patient. He showed too much respect. He walked down Pascal the whole fight, but he wouldn't throw more than 3 or 4 punches. It's like he doesn't have that next gear, and I think I've seen him fight a couple other times, and yeah, he wouldn't. He didn't have that next gear. Maybe that's just the type of fighter he is. He's just too much of a boxer to put himself in a compromising position. But Pascal, he tried to steal rounds. He really tried to steal rounds, and I thought he stole all the rounds that he won. I thought he stole. I don't think he clearly just dominated any round. It was just that Alvarez kind of was inactive a little bit, and then Pascal just threw all these wild flurries. But I mean, look, Pascal did some good work to the body too. So let's not overlook that. But that was his best success, was going to the body. Look, if he would have led a little bit more, Alvarez wasn't. He's supposed to be known as a counterpuncher, but Alvarez wasn't counterpunching. He was just going back on the defensive and trying to back out of range. So I thought if Pascal would have led a lot more in this fight instead of laying back, then he might have won a couple more rounds. And if one judge had it a draw. So if he would have just led a little bit more and just been the aggressor a little bit more, maybe. Well, actually, the other 2 scorecards were a little bit wider, which I had a 9-3. But yeah, just in the terms of trying to win the fight or being more effective, if Pascal would have led a little bit more, with his right hand or just going straight to the body like he was doing, then this could have been a little bit of a different fight. But I think Pascal's a little bit tentative and a little bit gun shy because he's took some beatings in his career, and it's scary watching Pascal fight because it's weird. He has a good poker face. I mean, it looks like he's seriously hurt, but then sometimes he doesn't act like he's seriously hurt. I don't know if he's just numb to the shots at a certain point, but yeah, that was tough. That was a tough fight, and Pascal's a tough son of a bitch. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. He'll fight back when he's hurt. You really got to knock him out cold to really get him out of there. So, but Pascal thinks that he won the fight, but yeah, he didn't. But yeah, no, it was a good fight. And yeah, Pascal's just a little bit too gun shy. Back when he beat Dawson, he was a lot more aggressive, and Pascal's fighting style was a lot more erratic. Now it just seems like he just doesn't want to engage too much, or maybe he just doesn't have the stamina or the energy to do it. He is 34 years old and a lot of wear and tear. So it was a good fight, a decent fight. Alvarez would be a good fight for Stevenson. So let's see if Stevenson can take care of business.